Continues to surpass the rest of the world in confirmed cases. It's not all bad news, though right now we are more than 243,000 people who have recovered. That is what we're learning from Johns Hopkins University. Meanwhile, right here in Arizona, there are more than 12,000 confirmed cases have been confirmed over time here, and more than half of those cases are in Maricopa County. Rachel?
So Ryan, at last check, the Arizona Department of Health Services has already administered more than 165,000 coronavirus cases, and more are on the way. So happening this week, DHS is supposed to host another testing blitz in the Valley. Now, that isn't the only testing that's happening this weekend. Fry's announced they've partnered with the city of Tempe to offer a free drive-through coronavirus test. The test will be offered this Friday and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Now, you must register first online at KrogerHealth.com. If you are eligible, you will select the location, make an appointment time. You'll then be emailed paperwork to fill it out and bring it with you. Now, Kroger is expecting to test about 250 people each day. Also new this morning, CVS plans to provide testing as well. Starting Friday, CVS is expected to open 10 drive-through sites in Arizona. This is part of the company's goal to create 1,000 test sites across the U.S. and process 1.5 million tests a month. Now, you must register in advance at CVS.com beginning tomorrow to schedule an appointment. Ryan.